Colt Mercer didn't move. I swear the silence hit harder than if he'd screamed. Not when they screamed. Not when the Bugatti sank into his field like it belonged there. Mud flew. One heel snapped. A white dress hit the ground and stayed there. The twins shouted for help. He didn't even blink. Just tapped his phone once, then let it rest in his palm. The "no trespassing" sign leaned crooked behind them. Still readable. Still ignored. Colt smiled, barely. Not at them. At the mud. It had taken weeks to soften that patch. Now it was working, exactly as planned. They always assumed he was just the guy with dirt on his boots. They never asked why he stayed behind when his brothers left. Why the county sheriff still called him Deputy Mercer when no one else heard. Why the front gate never had a lock, but every post was measured, precisely. Colt had left the uniform, left the badge, turned down the desk job and the clean pension, and came back here, to dust, rust, and one promise. He buried his father under the pecan tree. No headstone, just an old fence post with a name carved sideways. J.R. Mercer, 1947 to 2021. Every morning since, he walked the line, checked the soil, counted the tracks, said nothing. There's a photo in his wallet, his father, 1973, standing in the same spot Colt stood today, hands in his pockets. Eyes not on the camera, but on something past it. Colt wears those same boots now, still stiff at the heel, still holding. Behind him, a frayed rope dangled from a corner post. The wind picked it up, let it dance. It used to hold the old sign. Private land, by blood, not money. Someone tried to burn it last fall. Didn't finish the job. The rope still smells like wet ash. Colt didn't replace the sign, didn't need to. Those who knew, remembered, and those who didn't, would. He wasn't quiet because he didn't care. He was quiet because this time, he did. He'd seen this play before. Pretty faces with louder voices, fast cars and faster mouths, TikToks, drone shots, bad manners dressed as entitlement. But this wasn't about trespassing, not really. It was about someone thinking a legacy could be stepped over, filmed, and forgotten. It couldn't. Colt never locked the gate, not because he forgot, but because he knew. The ones who open it themselves are the ones who'll get caught. She didn't knock, just stepped out of the SUV in ballet flats and a pressed polo. Clipboard in hand, sunglasses on. Like it was her land, her gate, her day. Colt stayed where he was, still hands, still breath. Just shifted his eyes, past her shoulder to the old fence post swaying behind her. The one someone had moved, 3 inches to the left. She peeled the backing off a sticker. Red stamp. Big letters. Approved by Clean Earth Committee. Temp access valid until the 14th. Pressed it onto his front gate. Crooked, didn't ask, didn't look at him. Just moved on to wave her phone at the car behind her. A second vehicle rolled in, lower, wider, the Bugatti, its tires already collecting dust, already disrespecting things it couldn't feel. Colt didn't blink. They spilled out of the car like it was a movie set. Same hair, same voices, twins in matching white, one with a tripod, one with a drone remote, not filming yet, just setting up. As if the soil had signed a contract. No greetings, no questions, just footprints. One of them pointed at the tree stump near the west fence. "Mark that shot." The assistant nodded, slapped a laminated tag onto it. Scene 3, golden hour, sundown dance. It was a pecan tree once. Colt had cut it 5 years ago. Left the roots, let the stump harden with time. The owl that had nested above it flew off. Just as the second twin stepped out, flipping her hair, fixing her dress. Didn't see it. Didn't look up. Just tossed a thermos into the dirt. A third car came, then a fourth. One man got out, looked at Colt, didn't speak. Just pointed toward the east field and mouthed, "That way." Colt said nothing. Only one thing moved, his thumb, grazing the edge of his phone screen. He wasn't watching them. He was watching the sticker. It would hold, maybe, until the wind changed. Or until someone asked, who gave permission? Maybe you've seen something like this. When the wrong people walk in like they already own the place. I used to think staying calm meant staying quiet. Now I know it means choosing your moment. If this story felt close to home, stay with the channel. We don't shout here, we plan. Colt didn't tell them to leave, didn't raise his voice, didn't walk closer. He just turned, stepped over a patch of tire-ripped soil, and reached the barn. Inside, past rusted tools and a wall of folded feed sacks, was a corkboard, old papers, county maps, and a printout he'd kept for months. Seasonal use restriction, Ordinance 17. Bee weight limit, 3 tons. Wet season enforcement, February through May. He pinned it next to a laminated township newsletter, right where folks stopped to read weather updates. Then, he walked back outside. He didn't fix the no trespassing sign, didn't straighten the fence post. He left them. Off, tilted, muddy, because that's what made them visible. A gust of wind blew a folded paper from under the fence rail, landed near Colt's boots. He bent down, didn't pick it up, just noted the stamp. Temp access expires 14th. Subject to owner approval. No one had asked him anything. From the field, the sound of tires spinning picked up. Someone yelled, "Go!" One of the twins was filming a slow drift, wheels kicking mud toward the old irrigation lines. Their driver laughed. Colt tapped his shirt pocket, felt the pressure of the pen camera still running, had been since morning, wide angle, audio on. He didn't look at them, he looked at the tree line, past it, toward where the creek had overflown last month, turning this field into a temporary protected basin under state conservation orders. One more day of rain and the permit they had waved around. Wouldn't matter. Across the road, Mrs. Daly paused, dog leash in one hand. She looked at Colt, looked at the car. Something passed through her face. Then she walked on, silent. Next to the gate, unused fencing wire sat curled. Beside it, work gloves covered in dried soil. Colt bent down, brushed one gloved finger along the edge of the temporary permit still stuck to his gate. The ink was starting to run. He didn't say a word, but back inside, his laptop screen was open. Email drafted, attachments clipped, subject line, unauthorized use, agricultural violation, video attached. Send time, scheduled. The bait was in place. Now they just had to step deeper. Colt didn't reply. Not to the shouting, not to the revving, not even when the second drone showed up, buzzing just above his fence line. Instead, he opened his laptop, typed one line, attached a scanned map from 1986. Subject, land use clarification, quick question. Sent it to the HOA board. CC'd the entire neighborhood list. One line of text. Just confirming, this remains zoned as unregulated agricultural, yes? No accusations, no claims, just a question. The reply came fast, too fast. From S. Hampton, sent from her iPhone. If anyone's still clinging to old maps and outdated zoning, maybe they're the problem. She CC'd it back to the list, and, accidentally, to the town clerk. That was Monday. By Wednesday, the email had circulated. By Thursday, the town forum was quietly asking why a commercial filming setup was on private land not zoned for it. By Friday, a squad car rolled by, slowly. Officer Lane didn't say much. She parked near the old shed, watched, took notes, nodded once to Colt, didn't approach the twins. The Bugatti was still there, streaked in brown, the wheels half submerged. The younger sister tried to flag someone down to help. No one stopped. Even Ralph, the milkman who never picked sides, paused that morning, saw the mess by the fence, watched the twin in heels stomp through cow tracks. He didn't smile, just muttered, "My dad used to plant here," then drove on. Inside, Colt read the email again, highlighted one sentence. Temporary permit allows flexible use pending landowner cooperation. He forwarded it. To one person, no words, just the line, the map, the time-stamped video. A few hours later, the town's website updated the zoning overlay. The field showed up in orange, protected agricultural, no unauthorized activity. The permit? Revoked. Quietly. And still. Colt said nothing. He just walked past the Bugatti one morning, tapped the roof once. Not hard, just enough to knock a dried chunk of mud off the edge. The driver didn't speak, neither did the sisters. But Officer Lane, she tilted her head, wrote one more line in her pad, then folded it shut, and the fence post finally fell all the way down. Friday morning, they showed up with printed signs, plastic stakes, clipboards, matching windbreakers. The twins didn't film this time, Allison did. She pinned a notice on Colt's gate, bold red font, laminated. Notice, area under review for commercial zoning, do not obstruct. Right next to the old wooden sign, no trespassing, private land. The clash was visual, intentional, and Allison made sure everyone saw it. Colt didn't rip it down. He didn't even touch it. He just stood beside the fence as the so-called soil consultant arrived. Harvey Greer, same man Colt's father once kicked off the property for faking test results back in '99, now back, clipboard in hand, pretending not to recognize the boots across from him. Later that afternoon, the HOA called a meeting, virtual. Half the neighborhood logged in. Allison smiled through the screen, confident, said they had provisional approval from a strategic planning pilot group, claimed Colt's land was in review, claimed the path they used was communal easement by default. Then Colt spoke, one line, steady. Who signed the survey authorization? Because the state registry still lists this parcel as protected. Silence, blink, shift in posture. A voice from the HOA board broke in. Ms. Hampton, didn't your earlier email refer to that as Mercer's private farm access? Allison stammered, opened her mouth, said too much. Colt never proved ownership over that path. Wrong move, because that contradicted her previous message. And Colt had it printed, ready. Officer Lane walked in. Quiet. She didn't speak, just placed a rolled-up document on the table. Original county zoning map, sealed, updated quarterly, still showed the land in Colt's name. Allison reached for an explanation, too late. From the back, a 12-year-old girl held up her phone, a TikTok from last month. Allison in sunglasses, riding the Bugatti across muddy pasture, caption flashing, "Only the rich can turn farmland into catwalks." No one laughed, no one defended her, no one moved. Colt didn't gloat, didn't stare her down. He looked at the car, still stuck, still sinking, said nothing, and that silence was louder than anything else in the room. The Bugatti was gone by evening, winched out, hauled away slow. Its tires left a deep scar through the mud, a line no one stepped over. No one said goodbye to Allison, not the HOA, not the officer. She closed the car door with a sharp metallic clack and looked away. Back at the edge of the field, Colt stood alone. Same place, same boots. The wood post beside him was cracked at the top, weathered from years, not days. He didn't replace it, didn't clean the mud, just reached down, picked up the old no trespassing sign from where it had fallen, brushed it once with his thumb, then nailed it back in, slightly crooked. Left like that on purpose. A breeze moved through, not strong, just enough. It tugged the sign gently, let it sway. The metal creaked. From the porch, his old dog lifted its head. Didn't bark, didn't wag. Just looked at him for a moment, then lowered its head again. Colt didn't speak, didn't smile, just stood there, watching the shadows shift across the dirt. The field was quiet now. No tire marks, no cameras, just him and the land. The wind carried the smell of wet soil, faint, familiar, like something turning back to what it always was. They would remember the meeting, the email, the single sentence that cracked the room open. But Colt didn't need them to. This wasn't about the audience, it was about what stayed, what stood, what no one else could claim, not without paying for it. As the sun dropped lower, the last glint of light caught the edge of the crooked sign. It shimmered once, then stilled. Colt turned, walked back toward the porch. Didn't look back. The field behind him didn't move. Nothing more to prove, nothing more to say. Just one man, one fence, and the kind of silence that doesn't come from losing a fight, but from finishing one. Some people raise their voice to be heard. Others just wait for silence. Colt didn't teach anyone a lesson. He didn't have to. The mud did. The crooked sign did. The space he never surrendered spoke louder than he ever could. There's a kind of justice that doesn't shout. It just stands. Season after season, boots worn smooth, a fence no one remembers building, but everyone knows not to cross. His father never wrote letters, just carved initials into a post near the creek. Didn't explain them, didn't need to. Some values aren't explained, they're guarded. Colt never asked to be right. He just refused to forget. Because dignity doesn't demand attention. It asks for stillness, a crooked sign, a dog that no longer barks, a field no one dared walk through again. That's not power, that's presence. And sometimes the only thing stronger than winning is remembering what's worth protecting.